Hello students, last time we have explained about the compound microscope or light microscope. Today we are going to explain about the third type of microscope, that is electron microscope. The electron microscope is an optical instrument which utilizes an electrons as a source of illumination so as to observe very minute object as a great magnification. It is a product of large number of inventions and discoveries in the physics. Electron microscope can achieve a very high power of resolution because it uses electrons of a much shorter wavelength. Today there are several types of electron microscopes available to the cell biologist. Both the light and electron microscopes are similar in arrangement and function of their components and consist of three major systems. The first one, that is the illuminating system. Second, a lens system to provide magnification, and a main for observing the magnified image. So these are the three major systems found among both the type of microscope, that is light and electron microscopes. The electron microscope consists of following parts. The first one is electron gun. Electron gun. It is located at the top of the microscope body and it is the source of electrons. It consists of a hot tungsten filament. It is the source of electrons forming the beam. The tungsten filament is surrounded by negatively biased shield with an aperture through which an electron beam is drawn up to grounded and positive anode below. Then second component of the electron microscope, that is microscope column. It consists of an evacuated metal tube. It is fixed at the top of electron gun. A number of electromagnetic lenses, then viewing screen and photographic plate. So column, microscope column consisting of an evacuated metal tube and it is fixed on the top of electron gun and it consists of number of electromagnetic lenses, viewing screen and photographic plate. So these are the three components present in the microscope column. These parts are aligned one above the other. The microscopic column provides a protective shield. The microscopic column provides a protective shield to the operator from X-rays that are generated when electrons strike the metal surface. Then third component of the electron microscope, that is electromagnetic lenses. Electromagnetic lenses or coils. Electromagnetic lenses or electromagnetic coils. The coil correspond to the condenser, objective and ocular lenses of the light microscope. So the coil, electromagnetic lenses or the electromagnetic coils are similar to the condenser, objectives and the ocular lenses of the light microscope. Each coil has coils of electric wire wound on a hollow metal cylinder, designed in such a way that an electric current passing through the magnetic coil produces an axially symmetrical magnetic field in the center of the lens. The magnetic field forces the electrons to spiral around a central axis. The magnetic field forces the electrons to spiral around the central axis. The electron beam passes through the microscope column. The electron beam passes through the microscope column and deflected by a variable degree depending on the current flowing through the coils of the lens. The microscope is fitted with a variable resistance with a rotary switch control. It controls focusing and image formation in the electron microscope. It controls focusing and image formation in the electron microscope. The magnetic field functions as a magnifying lens. The magnetic field functions as a magnifying lens. Focusing is also done by adjusting the voltage of the current. Focusing is also done by adjusting the voltage of the current. So this is what the electromagnetic lenses or the coils, which are meant for the image formation or the focusing of the electrons so as to prepare the image, and together with the magnification of the image of the object. So electromagnetic lenses or the coils are thus responsible for the formation of image of the object together with its magnification or the enlargement of the image of the object. Then fourth component of the electron microscope, that is the fluorescent screen. Electrons are harmful to our eyes. Electrons are harmful to our eyes. The magnified image is observed on a fluorescent screen. And since the electrons are harmful to our eyes, the magnified image is observed on a fluorescent screen, which is arranged along with the main tube or the body of the electron microscope on one side. So on the one side of the electron microscope, there is a fluorescent screen which is also connected uh, with the electron microscope so as to see or so as to observe the magnified image of the object onto the fluorescent screen. So instead of looking the image through eyepiece from the top of the electron microscope, that is just observed onto the fluorescent screen of the electron microscope. Electrons are harmful to our eyes, and the magnified image is thus observed on a fluorescent screen. The screen is located with a chemical. The screen is located with a chemical which is uh, by its excitation, which by its excitation forms the image as on a television screen. So the screen is located with a chemical which by its excitation or activation forms the image on the television screen. Transformers, the next part or the component of the electron microscope, that is transformers. The electron microscope requires high voltage current for the electron gun and the electromagnetic coils. So the electron microscope having important components for the image formation and the magnification of the image. There are two important components used in the electron microscope, and they are electron gun and the electromagnetic coils, which requires high voltage current, and thus for this purpose or so as to provide high voltage current to the electron microscope, uh, the transformers are used uh, together with the electron microscope so as to boost the voltage from 220 volt 220 volt to 50 to 100 kilovolt. So transformers are also accompanied with the electron microscope so as to supply high voltage current to the electron gun and the electromagnetic coils of the electron microscope. Then next is vacuum pumps. Electron microscope requires vacuum inside the microscope column, and this is maintained by diffusion pumps or iron pumps. Then it also requires water cooling system. Electron microscope requires cooling system to prevent overheating of various parts by the pumps and coils. Nowadays, modern electron microscopes are equipped with circulating pump, then refrigeration plant, and the filter system, so as to maintain the cool condition in the electron microscope, so as to avoid the overheating of various parts of the pumps and coils. The size is reduced because of electronic system. The size is reduced because of electronic system. So water cooling system is also provided with the electron microscope so as to avoid the overheating of the various parts by the pumps and coils. And nowadays modern electron microscopes are equipped with circulating pump, refrigeration plant, and the filter system. The size of is reduced, the size of the electron microscope is reduced because of electronic system. So this is the figure showing electron microscope representing the base, black colored base, then the condenser body, then provided with the electronic gun and the electromagnetic coils or electromagnetic lenses in the body or in the body tube of the electron microscope. Together with there is a fluorescent screen similar to television screen is also accompanied with the electron microscope. So this is what the structure or various components of the electron microscope can be observed in the figure. Then working of electron microscope. The working of electron microscope is very much similar to that of light microscope. The electrons are used for magnification and image formation. So the main idea for the image formation or the magnification in electron microscope, that is the use of electrons. So the electrons are used for the magnification and the or image formation. Image formation occurs by electron scattering. Image formation occurs by electron scattering. Electrons strike the atomic nuclei and get dispersed, and these dispersed electrons form the image. Electrons strike the atomic nuclei and get dispersed, and these dispersed electrons form the image. The electron image is converted into a visible form by projecting on the fluorescent screen. The electron image is converted into a visible form by projecting on the fluorescent screen of the electron microscope. Electrons in the form of beam, electrons in the form of beam passes through the condenser coils. Electrons in the form of beam passes through the condenser coils and fall on the object. So this is the electron gun. So the source of electron. The source of electron is thus is the electron gun, which is fitted in the body of microscope, and just above which there is a electromagnetic coils also or electromagnetic lenses. So these two components are meant for the image formation or the source of electrons, which will then the beam of the electrons passes through the condenser coils and falls onto the object, and they get scattered and transmitted through the object and passes through the objective coil, which then magnifies the image of the object. The projector coil further magnifies the image and projects it on the fluorescent screen or a photographic film. So this is the actual mechanism of the image formation, magnification, and also its projection onto the fluorescent screen. So electrons in the form of beam passes through the condenser coil and falls onto the object. Then they get scattered, electrons then get scattered and transmitted through the object and passes through the objective coils, which then magnifies the image of the object. Then the projector coils further magnifies the image. The projector coils then magnifies the image and projects it on the fluorescent screen or a photographic film. The image formation occurs when the energy of the electrons is transformed into visible light through excitation of the chemical coating of the screen. The image formation occurs when the energy of the electrons is transformed into visible light through the excitation of the chemical coating of the screen. Those electrons which reach to the fluorescent screen, form the bright spots while the areas where the electrons do not reach to the screen form dark spots. Electron dispersion is due to atomic nuclei which consists of protons and neutrons. The higher the atomic number, the greater is the dispersion. Biological materials are generally with a low atomic number. So, dispersion of the electron is poor due to the low atomic number of the biological materials. Dispersion of the electrons is poor and thus it results into a poor contrast in the image formation. Therefore, to increase the contrast, number of salts with a high atomic number are used during the process of fixation or the staining of the biological materials. So, this is what about the working of electron microscope. Then regarding the magnification, the information regarding the magnification. The objective and the projector coils, help in magnifying the image formed in electron microscope. For getting maximum magnification, an intermediate coils is fitted between the objective and projector coils, and this coil further increases the magnification of the object obtained with two coils. So, the objective and projector coils helps in magnifying the image formed in the electron microscope. For getting maximum magnification, an intermediate coil is fitted between the objective and the projector coils, and this intermediate coil further increases the magnification of the object obtained with two coils, that is the projector coil and the objective coils. If the magnification of the objective coil is 100, if the magnification of the objective coil is 100 and projector coil is 200, we get a magnification of 20,000. We get the magnification of 20,000, that is 100 into 200. 100 into 200. If the magnification of the objective coil is 100 and projector coil is 200, that is 100 into 200 equal to 20,000. So, we will get the magnification of 20,000. Electron microscopes can achieve a magnification of as high as 1,60,000. The electron microscopes can achieve the magnification of biological material or the object as high as 1,60,000, and this magnification can be further increased during microphotography up to 10 lakh times or more without loss of sharpness. So, this is what the potential or the resolving power of the electron microscope for providing the greater and greater magnifications or enlargement of the images of the object so as to study of the object or the biological material at electron level or very small or molecular level, very small or the molecular components of the biological materials can also be observed under the electron microscope. So, the electron microscopes can achieve a magnification of about 1,60,000, and this magnification 1,60,000 magnification can be further increased during microphotography up to 10 lakh times or more without loss of sharpness. The resolving power of microscope is limited by the wavelength of illumination formation of the image. The shorter the wavelength, the smaller the detail that can be resolved. The shorter the wavelength, the smaller the detail that can be resolved. The electrons, therefore, can be used with a much shorter wavelength for finer details. For electron microscope sections are cut with a diamond or a glass knives because ordinary knives are unsuitable for getting thin section. Section of 10 to 50 nanometer thickness. Section of 10 to 50 nanometer thickness, that is ultra thin sections, that is 10 to 50 nanometer, that is ultra thin sections are used, and they are cut with the help of ultra microscope. Electron microscope in which electrons are allowed to be transmitted through the objects are known as transmission electron microscope. Electron microscope in which electrons are allowed to be transmitted through the objects are called as transmission electron microscope. So this is about the explanation or the information regarding the magnification of the image of the object in an electron microscope. Then there are certain electron microscopes can also be called as high voltage electron microscope. Nowadays, it is possible to study living cells with the help of high voltage electron microscopes. In a traditional electron microscope, the electricity is used in the range of 50 to 100 kilovolt, but at this voltage, the beam of electrons at this voltage, that is 50 to 100 kilovolt voltage, the beam of the electrons cannot pass through thick sections or living cells. Recently, high voltage electron microscopes have been introduced or used, which use the electricity of a voltage ranging from 500 to 300 kilovolt, and thus this type of electron microscope is useful for the study of living cells, and several microns thick section can also be observed under the high voltage electron microscope. Then below is the information regarding resolving power and the numerical aperture. Resolving power is defined as the capacity of microscope. Resolving power is defined as the capacity of microscope or any other instrument to distinguish images of two pointed objects lying very close together. Resolving power is defined as the capacity of microscope or any other instrument to distinguish or to differentiate images of two pointed objects lying very close together. The microscope magnifies as well as resolves or separates the objects seen through it. But resolving power is a more important property of the microscope. Resolving power is more important property of the microscope than the property of magnification. If the resolving power of microscope is low, if the resolving power of the microscope is low, the image of two closely placed points will overlap and only blurred single point will be visible. If the resolving power of the microscope is very low, if listen carefully, if the resolving power of microscope is low, the image of two closely placed points will overlap, only blurred single point will be visible. But when the microscope has high resolving power, these two points will appear separate or sharply distinct. If two points are more than zero point 0.1 millimeter apart, if two points are more than zero point 0.1 millimeter apart, under our unaided eyes will be able to distinguish them as two distinct objects. If two points are more than zero point 0.1 millimeter away or apart, our unaided eyes will be able to distinguish them as two distinct objects. If these 2 points are at a distance of more than zero point 0.2 micron, if 2 points are at a distance of more than zero point 0.2 micrometer, they will appear as 2 points in the microscope. Thus, the microscope can resolve the objects. Thus, the microscope can resolve the objects. However, there is a limit of resolution. The resolving power of the microscope The resolving power of the microscope depends on two factors. First, that is the wavelength of the light employed, and second, the numerical aperture, is normally used to calculate resolving power of the microscope. So the resolving power of the microscope depends on the two factors. One, that is the wavelength of light employed, and second, that is the numerical aperture, and which is used to calculate the resolving power of the microscope. Point 61. Point 61 is the constant representing the minimum detectable difference in a contrast. 0.61 is the constant representing the minimum detectable difference in a contrast. Lambda is the wavelength of illumination. Numerical aperture, or capital NA, is the light gathering capacity of the objective. Numerical aperture is the light gathering capacity of the objective. Numerical aperture depends on the refractive index of the lens and sine of the semi-angle of the aperture as follows. Numerical aperture is equal to small n sine alpha, where small n is the refractive index of the air, or liquid between the specimen and the lens. Sine alpha small a is the sine of the semi-angle of the aperture, and small a is the half angle of the cone of the light entering the objective lens from the specimen. It is important to note that the limit of resolution is inversely proportional to the resolving power. It is important to note that the limit of resolution is inversely proportional to the resolving power. In other words, the higher the resolving power, the smaller is the value of the limit of resolution. Sine alpha cannot exceed the value of 1 and the refractive index of the optical instrument is constant, that is, it is 1.6 for a 40x objective and 1.4 for the oil immersion lens, that is 100x. Sin alpha cannot exceed the value of 1 and the refractive index of the optical instrument is constant. The refractive index of the optical instrument is constant, and that is it is 1.6. Refractive index is 1.6 for 40x objective and 1.4 for the oil immersion lens, that is 100x. The limit of resolution for the microscope, can therefore be calculated as follows. The limit of resolution for the microscope can therefore be calculated as follows. Limit of resolution is equal to 0.61. Limit of resolution is equal to 0.61 into wavelength lambda by 1 into 1.4. The following table gives relation between numerical aperture and limit of useful magnification. When the numerical aperture is 0.1, can give the magnification of 100x. Numerical aperture 0.1 representing magnification of 100x. 0.25 numerical aperture represents magnification of 250x. 0.50 numerical aperture represents the magnification of 500x. Then 0.66 numerical aperture represents the magnification of 660x. 0.00 numerical aperture represents 1000x magnification, and 1.3 numerical aperture represents the magnification of 1300x. So this is what the relation between the numerical aperture and the limit of useful magnification. Numerical aperture and the limit of useful magnification. When oil immersion is not used, the lenses will have numerical aperture maximum of 1. When oil immersion is not used, the lenses will have numerical aperture maximum of 1. Oil immersion lenses have a maximum numerical aperture. Oil immersion lenses have maximum numerical aperture of 1.5. Numerical aperture of low power objective is 0.25. Numerical aperture of low power objective is 0.25, and that of high power objective is 0.66. The numerical aperture of high power objective is 0.66. The value of numerical aperture is engraved or presented on the objective tube along with the magnification value, and thus numerical aperture value of the objective lenses is closely linked with the resolving power of microscope. Thus, numerical value of the objective lenses is closely linked with the resolving power of the microscope. So, this is what about the structure and function or the working of the electron microscope. So, today with this we'll stop here, and next time we'll continue with the next topic, that is the stains and dyes. So, with this we'll stop here. Thank you, and next time we'll continue with the next topic, that is stains and dyes. Thank you.